I think we spent enough time on this. You guys want to get to the most ridiculous power in the world?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Let's get it.
Let's do this.
Oh,
We'll
baby.
talk about peak piece, goat piece, One Piece 1071. Luffy's peak attained. Gear 5th. And here we go. The drums have started, and so is Luffy's heart. Luffy's peak starts now. Can Kaido stand up to this form? We shall see. But yeah, the episode starts off with the drums of liberation just going and going and going. Zoe saying he can hear them. First time in 800 years. Joy Boy has returned, is what he's telling Momo. And I'm just telling y'all, from like 30 seconds in, when the drums started going hard, you know, my hairs was standing up on my arms, and I was doing like drums, like air drums, bro. Like, y'all should have seen me. I was over here jamming. I was like, this shit goes hard.
Oh, dude. Hearing the drums of liberation is right up there for me with seeing every dad when they hear that Phil Collins on the Genesis song. Ba-dum, 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 bum, bum, bum. I can feel it.
Same thing.
It's the same thing, dude.
Same thing.
This is the otaku version of I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight. Like, it's done. It's a thing now.
Yes, it really is. The drums just went so hard, bro. Like, you had some bongos and some African drums in there. Shit was going crazy. Can't say enough good things about the music, really. But yeah, awesome shit.
Oh, it was incredible. But like, Luffy wakes up and you just hear his heart pumping, and he's bouncing around on the ground, and he finally sits up and he's like, "What happened? I lost the fight." You just see this shit-eating grin on his face, and I'm so fucking hyped.
y'all don't like, y'all probably know, but like, your boy was in tears already by this point. I was crying, tears of happiness, tears of joy.
I was about to
here.
say, why were you crying? But okay.
Yeah. You know, I was just so excited, bro. Like, I cry over everything, bro.
Yeah. I've been waiting on this for a while. Got spoiled some time ago for me. But it was still fucking hyped. Like, I was still very impressed. He was so wobbly. Bro was so wobbly. You know, he said, "This is getting fun." I'm sure it was, bro. You could, everything around you is turning into rubber. You can bend it whichever way you want.
And you were dead. So this has got to be a lot more fun than that
too. Yeah.
I know it may not sound like a lot, but one of my favorite parts of the episode, if not my favorite part, was when it showed him from a distance, and it showed him first standing up, and like he was like wobbling to the right and wobbling back to the left, you know, and the drums going on in the background while he was doing it to the beat, you know, and that shit, like I'm telling you, man, like my adrenaline was going, like it was just peak, you know. I've never felt that way before. Even in 1015, when 1015 happened, I never did feel this way. I was like, this man is up, you know, he's doing it. This is it.
It's like exactly how I felt reading it back a year ago, you know, and like seeing it on paper, but seeing it animated is just so fucking good, dude.
Yeah, they just done that scene so well.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Why am I able to stand right now? It was just so good. So,
but you get the next scene, and it's Yamato, not Yamamoto, wrong show. Yamato and Momo. That's why I said that. The name combined, you got the same name, dude.
yeah.
Say that Luffy is Joy Boy in pure disbelief. We go back into Onigashima, and we're seeing everybody in shock. I mean, Conqueror's hockey, it's just all over the fucking place. Like, it's like a lightning storm. Like, you're in the middle of a lightning cloud.
Yes.
How much Conqueror's hockey is going off. You see all the Beast Pirates just falling over. And
Kaido's like, Oro?
Now, for real, he was like, guys, what's going on, guys?
Oro?
Where's that coming from?
He had to know, dude. I was like, come on, Kaido, you're better than that.
Bro lost all the bass in his voice.
But we see Chopper, we see Nami, and we see everybody just so happy that he's back. Thank God Marco protected our girl from that barrel blast, or else she'd be a piece of fried chicken right now.
She would have she would have died a very sad girl. Yes.
Definitely. But after that, we get this really cool flashback to Marie Joie. Not flashback, but like we transport to Marie Joie. And I remember reading this scene and it was so fucking cool. Basically, it's the Gore side talking, and they're like, you know, we had to sacrifice one of our best agents, and you know, we might have put the cart before the horse because we've pissed the fuck off Kaido now. But in the end, that's still better than letting this power awaken and become what it is. And that's where we finally learn that the Gomu Gomu no Mi has another name. The Hito no Mi mythical model Nika. And we go into how Nika is the sun god. And oh my God, I'm just getting shivers saying it right now, guys. Like, that shit was so gas. Like, I've been trying so hard not to say it multiple times. Like, when we wanted to pick our devil fruit, like during the Anime Degens podcast, like 4 months ago, I was like, I want fucking Toon Force, boys. I don't want any of this shit. I want to turn into a goddamn cartoon character from Tom and Jerry.
If I remember correctly, like at the time when this happened, I think Dan and I was like literally in DMs, like having like a fit about this shit. It was like, oh my God, Luffy is a god right now. He's Nika. But
And they say that the fruit is evading them, but one of the really cool things about mystical Zoan fruits is that you see it back in Impelled Down, right? So you have the awakened Zoan fruits, the giant cow, the giant whatever monsters that are like the guards. Their mind was overtaken by their fruit when they awakened it. And that's why they're just mindless animals at this point. So like what we're seeing right now is really the sun god Nika. Luffy's in there somewhere, but we're seeing that pure madness and joy that the sun god Nika is. And
I felt like I don't know about you, Dan, but I felt like the manga portrayed that better, honestly.
I think it did too.
I really do think that it portrayed it better because it made us know that wasn't Luffy. Like that wasn't him. He wasn't able to control himself at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
they definitely did a better job in the manga.
Yeah.
But they go into the new fruit description of how the body has the properties of rubber. He fought as he fancied. He was just made people smile. He's a warrior of liberation. He was Nika, the fucking sun god, boys. Holy, so much freedom. Aaron Yeager's got nothing on her boy now.
Damn.
And then we get to the part of the episode I didn't want to have to watch, but we had to. Hiyori and Orochi. We'll skim this because it wasn't that important, right? I'm just kidding.
Compared to the rest, yeah. It's just a little bit important, but not like our boy Luffy.
They should have left this shit out. Yeah, honestly.
No, they should have left
Fuck
it out.
Fuck
I mean, you got to think this is the encapsulation of how all of Wano felt for the last, 20 years? And getting some retribution from it. I mean, it's a very important part to the story, but putting it in between this for like 13 minutes was fucking brutal.
It was.
They could have done this scene in 5. It would have been done.
Yeah, like it made me like not. Yeah, like no one cares. Like right now.
No,
Like you hyped this up. Like they literally hyped this up, and then they're like, "Oh wait, here, dude, watch this." And I'm like, "Bro, chill."
Yeah, I mean, Orochi being that fucking snake motherfucker he is, finally realizes that this is Kozuki Oden's daughter, starts babbling on about how he was exploited by Kaido. That's the only reason he did anything.
Straight fuck boy.
They should escape together. And like he made Oden dance like a fool for 5 years. We get that whole flashback again. And Orochi wants to give Oden an award for being such a great samurai. Fuck this guy, dude. He's
killing, man.
He's probably my least favorite One Piece character of all time. And there's a few that I really don't like, but he's a fucking rat.
Yeah, no, he's a little bitch.
But after all that, you know, Kanjuro shows up in the Kazenbo form. Basically, he's a fizzled out flame at this point. It says he failed, and all he wants to do is embrace Orochi and just lights him on fire. And that's it, man. You get Hiyori coming in. She says the dawn will surely come. The Kazoki is a clan that keeps their promises. And dude, that final scene right there with her like crying with the moon and stuff in the background was super cool in my opinion. I love that.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good scene.
But they could have skipped half that. They didn't
I
need to
mean, they
flashback and all
could
that
have put
shit.
it in a different episode at least.
Yeah. They're pretty good about doing exactly what's in the manga though.
All right.
I'm just saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
It
But
definitely should have been faster. It definitely should have been faster. So
Yeah, I ain't need all that.
we didn't have to have the flashbacks of Odin and shit. So we already seen that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
So-
maybe just don't put things where like I don't want to watch them.
if they started the episode with this, it probably would have been fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if they just showed Luffy's heart beating and then they went to this, it would have been fine. Like they showed that he was getting back up and then they came back to him sitting up and being like, I lost the fight. What's going on here? So this is getting fun. That would have been really great.
Yeah, but
Or
they
just-
wet our whistle and then took the bottle away.
Yeah. And then they played the same scene of Luffy bouncing around again for like the third time. And I'm like, guys, come on. I know we reuse animation, but like same episode?
Boy said same
I
episode.
was like, come on, Toei.
But yeah, then we go back up to the rooftop, and like Dan said, Luffy's just bouncing around, saying that he can do everything that he wanted to do now, and that he thinks that he can fight a little more, and that his heartbeat sounds funny. And then he goes on to say, "This is his peak." And boys, like after all that, he finally starts going after Kaido. And I love this shit.
No, that's the scene right there where he like goes Super Saiyan, right? And his clothes turn white.
Maybe
I think
that's
that was
like
right
the
then.
second like power up or whatever, like when he like goes crazy again or whatever.
Yeah,
He
that's
kind of
right.
like accepts what's happening. He's kind of like just
Yeah.
goes after it. Yeah.
and that shit was so hard, dude. I was listening. I'm like, oh my god, did they take the Dragon Ball Z noise right here? Am I crazy?
Oh, they did. They definitely did. I noticed that immediately. How'd you guys like the sound effects outside of that though? All the tune, the Looney Tune sound effects.
I enjoyed it. I mean, it really hit home the fact that we are seeing Toon Force right now. Like basically to sum it up, it's just Luffy's world and we're living in it. So that's it.
Right.
That's all I know to say.
Yeah, there were scenes where I felt like the audio didn't line up very well with like what was going on in the animation, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Luffy was like spinning Kaido around, it sounded like the sounds were just slightly off, but they were animating it so well and so fast that I feel like it just would have been hard to keep it in line. But I definitely noticed that a little bit. I was like, okay, this sounds a little off here, guys.
Yeah. My critique of this whole thing is like I think they could have slowed down some of the tune animations or made them last a few seconds instead of like half a second or 3/4 of a second.
They had to put that 13.5-minute Hiyori thing in there. So that's why we had it. And everything sped up.
It just would have been easier to process. Like the first time I watched it through, I was like, a lot of it was it was unrecognizable. It was like flashes on the screen. And like I was like, okay, like this is cool, but like what's kind of happening here at the same time? And then like I like went and saw screenshots like of some of this episode on Twitter. I was like, I don't remember that because like it just happens so fast. So I think animating an anime fight's a little bit different than doing like a cartoon. And I think they got to learn to like slow it down a little bit when you get into those like moments where you really, really need to draw it out to make it like it happen and make it realizable.
Yeah, I can
So-
agree with that. I think one of the things they were doing is they were trying to show just how ridiculously overpowered he is now. But you can show it in a way that the viewer can actually see it, if that makes sense.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, really.
So one of the scenes like that Bass is talking about that really stood out to me was when I think Kaido was getting ready for a blast breath or whatever, and Luffy seen it coming at him, He like jumps up or whatever and like slings himself back right before and his eyes pop out of his head right before he like grabs the ground.
Mhm.
That whole transition from when he jumped up to when he like slung himself back, like you couldn't see shit. It was just like a twisting humanoid figure twisting around,
Yeah,
and I was like, "What's
Right.
going
And
on
like you
here?"
couldn't even tell what he did until like you saw the blast breath like coming like bouncing back at Kaido. I was like, "Oh, that took me a second to figure out what the fuck that was."
yeah,
Yeah,
they did a lot better job in the manga on that because like you saw the scene with his eyes pop out, you saw him grab his eyes and put them back in his head, and his hands go through his face all the way back, which caused him to sink backwards. But I'm gonna say I love the scene where he's like moonwalking down to pick up the ground and build up all that power before he slings it in the air.
yeah.
The moonwalk was so good, dude. Not that like Michael Jackson.
So like on the third rewatch of this, like on those scenes like that, I literally just stopped and rewatched them over and over again. That way I could see what was going on really. And that's the first time I was able to actually see him grab his eyes and bring them back. Because before that, going at normal speed without rewatching, you can't really see what's going on there. So you just
Yeah.
see his eyes come out, and then all of a sudden a lot of things happen, and then he's moonwalking to the ground. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely think having read it helped a lot because I went back and reread the chapter before watching it, and I was like, okay, I get what people are complaining about, but if you know what's happening, it's a lot better.
Yeah, but I mean, I shouldn't have to look at manga panels to realize I mean, realize what the fuck I'm looking at on my screen.
Oh, I
Yeah,
100%
like
agree.
it was a little frustrating that way. But like I mean, at one point, like I was sitting there thinking to myself, like this is fucking One Piece right here. Like this is feels like the essence of One Piece. Like there's some serious themes, a lot of serious things going on, but like at the end of the day, it's goofy as fuck.
Yeah, and I love how serious One Piece has gotten. I mean, shit's been like intense, nonstop,
Yes.
very serious. And just pulling this out of the bag like that was like, oh, this is One Piece again. This is what I used to watch in the East Blue. It's just a goofy pirate anime, and seeing it come back was awesome.
Yes.
But
It was the essence.
we just skipped a bunch of the fight there, guys. We got to go back. We just
yeah,
skipped a bunch of great shit.
we're
Yeah.
too busy
Okay.
talking about Goofy Luffy over here.
I mean, of course, this is what we're here for. But like, let's go back to the beginning of this. Luffy's kind of like dancing around on the ground, turning everything to rubber. And like he kind of blows up his hand, sticks it down the hole on at the top of Onigashima and pulls Kaido back through it. And everybody's like, "Yo, is that Luffy? Mugiwara?" And that was like one of my favorite moments in this episode. It was just like Kaido being like, "What the fuck is going on right now? I killed him. I saw it. He was dead." Like what the fuck is this crackhead? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's like, and like his eyes pop out of his head as he gets pulled back through. And it was, I thought that was a great scene. I really, really enjoyed that.
Oh, the next scene was my favorite when Luffy pulls him out, and all of a sudden you see him going Moki 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 and just making himself like super buff Luffy, and then just freaking punching the shit out of him like that Moki 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 thing. I've had it in my head for like a week now, like well, not a week, but since Saturday, and I'm like, oh my god, this is just so fucking good.
Yeah. And it was cool because like, I mean, like Luffy said, like he can literally do anything he wants now. Like he took all of that size from his arm and hand where he pulled Kaido up, and he like tied his belt around his waist to make it a little tighter, and pretty much had muscles in his upper body. It was he's just freedom. It's fucking freedom.
He's going from Gear
Quite
3
literally.
to Gear 4 Tank Man to Bounce Man to Snake Man to everything. He's just putting all his powers together instantaneously, and it's so good to see. The scene where he's like got him in the suplex and he's spinning him in the circles. Oh my god, dude, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, he made Kaido look like a fucking worm.
Kaido just can't keep up right now. He's just like, what's going on, bro? What's going on?
Just imagine, like you just killed this man. You had a nice long fight. It got stolen from you, but you're like, no big deal. I still get to go through with my evil plan. And you go down there, and you declare victory. You said, I'm about to fuck up you straw hats. You better surrender. The rest of you motherfuckers are slaves. And then you just get pulled?
Bring me Momo. I need the surrender from the leader of this.
Right.
And oh my god, dude. But so
And-
after Luffy spins around and fucking suplexes him to the ground, you see Luffy just laughing his ass off on the ground, holding his stomach. He can't contain his laughter. And you see Kaido come up in the background, and the man has an egg on his head, the size of Onigashima at this point. He's got the dizziness spinning around, everything else.
Made the man literally see stars. And then like Luffy's on the ground. Like this was another like funny moment. Like one of my favorite moments from the episode. Luffy was laughing so hard he was clapping with his feet. I was like, bro is really tripping right now. Okay.
I'm gonna go watch this again the minute we're done with this shit.
Yeah, same.
But
yeah.
So after that, we get to the scene that we already talked about with the trampoline ground blowing the Boral Blast back at him. And that's when we get the Gear 5 introduction sequence. And I thought that shit went so hard, dude. It's just Luffy showing different parts of him with the letters coming up. And then you get like a scene of all his past battles and power-ups in like 10 seconds.
I could have done without it, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I could have done without it. It kind of took me out of it for a second.
No, I that was kind of like a breakup, like a mid point breakup. But they had to have that in there though to signify that was Gear 5 time.
Yeah, because they've always done it with the last power-ups. You know, you've had the Gear 2, Gear 3, well, I guess they didn't really do one for Gear 3 because it was just the giant fist, but they did it with Snake Man and Bounce Man and Tank Man, so.
Yeah, I don't like when they do it though. So
That's
it,
fine.
it always kind of takes me out of it, but it is what it is. It's part of the show.
I enjoyed the bells or whatever that they was doing, like the dings. They
Ding,
really
ding, ding,
put
ding,
that
ding,
in
ding.
that. Yeah, I was like, damn, they really made something like a ding so special, you know? Like that's crazy. Only One Piece can do it. So
Yeah, I was starting to miss the goofiness of this show, and I think I've mentioned it before. I don't know if it was during the rundown or one of the Degens episodes that like some of my favorite moments are just when they were goofing off on the ship, putting chopsticks in their noses and stuff like that. So to get some of that goofiness back, like you said earlier, Dan, is I cherish this kind of shit, and like they just made it the whole transformation. Yes,
Oh.
give it to me. It's
Definitely,
for me,
man. And like, I think my favorite part of this whole fight was the music because they took Overtaken, which is like the One Piece song, you know, and they remixed it with the Drums of Liberation, and that shit went so fucking hard.
banger.
Absolute banger. Absolute banger. God tier fucking tunes right there.
yeah, just a absolute banger of an episode. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
100%, dude. I mean, the episode ends. Oh, go for it.
I really do hope that the animation team kind of learns from this episode at the same time, though.
Yeah. We'll have to see with the next one. I mean, the next one's got it's all Luffy versus Kaido. It's all action. My favorite Gear 5 scene from the mangas are coming up in the next 1 or 2 episodes. So like, I'm really hyped. Like this was just an introduction. This wasn't the climax of this capabilities Luffy has now. Like, if you guys haven't read the manga, who are listening, I know Tyler has, Bass hasn't. You're in for a fucking treat, guys. It gets so much better.
It really does.
So much better. So much better. I mean, I don't want to
good.
spoil anything. But the episode ends with Kaido shaking off the soot from his own blast breath and basically coming up, and he's just laughing, and he's like, I'm sorry that we had a rude interruption last time. This is let's get back to it. And for the first time since 2006,
Yeah.
we got a One Piece ending. We finally got an ending video. It's back. And I thought the song was okay. It was a good anime ending song, but the visuals for Wano were awesome.
Yeah, and the visuals, I mean, were way better than the actual song. I thought the song was pretty mid as far as endings go.
It was an anime ending song, you know?
I don't know. I like a lot of them, but this was not one of those. But the visuals really were awesome.
Oh yeah, I was kind of bummed because they showed a character who I'm not going to spoil anything. I mean, if you missed it, you missed it. But they showed a character and in a future form that we haven't seen yet in the ending. And again, stop spoiling shit in endings and openings, guys. Learn, don't do it.
Yeah, they do too much. They do way too much with that shit, actually.
But you guys got anything else for One Piece?
Tyler, what you think about the ending song?
I mean, I really enjoyed it. It gave off like a chill, relaxed vibe, you know, and I actually enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the visuals too. I thought that the ending overall was just really good. So
It kind of reminded me of like the original One Piece opening. Like it had a similar like vibe to that. Like back when it would show like the going merry with like the black and gold sunset, and I was a little nostalgic.
I mean, I was just watching that. I'm just like, bro, this is just so peaceful and relaxing, you know. It's, you know, especially since it looks so good, the visuals and stuff. So, but I enjoyed it.
Definitely. Well, guys, we're really excited for 1072 and Zom 100 to come back next week.